But overall, though, no matter who you bring up from Laval, and this is on the good note of Montreal, they've just been able to perform. We might have found the next French superstar.
Oh,
No,
give me
no Lafreniere,
give me a break.
no
Give me a break.
Lafreniere,
Oh my God.
no
Give me a break.
PLD. Give me Harvey-Pinard all day, every day. He'll perform better in Montreal than those two will. I can guarantee that.
Okay, hold on a sec, Joe. You're being serious about this.
Yes, I think he can perform better than those two.
There's no sarcasm out of
work
you.
ethic.
There's no sarcasm coming out of you.
No,
I truly, you know what, Joe? This brings me back to a legit conversation we had. I think you and I one day we were talking about we were looking over the prospect pool. This was before Harvey-Pinard got a pro level contract, I think by Laval. This was the year where I think him and Yoel Teasdale beat Nick Suzuki at the Memorial Cup.
Yeah.
I asked you, what do you think he might have a shot one day? And I remember you saying it's going to be tough for him just because he's a 7th round pick.
Yeah,
but look at him now. But his stats in the Quebec Major Juniors show he could play.
Then he went in Laval. He showed it, and now he's showing it here. He has more goals than like half our team. And he's playing, and you can't say, well, maybe he's playing with great players. It's like half of the team is Laval Rockets. Not half, but a good percentage due to injury.
That energy line that he was up with Pizzetta and
for sure.
That's chemistry, right? He's been playing with these guys in Laval.
Well, that's it. Him and Belzile, they're on a line together in Laval.
But it's also working in the NHL. Look, like Pizzetta, you could say is a great energy guy, but I don't see much in him. I see a little more out of Pinard making as an NHL. Look, maybe I went too far saying he'll be better than Lafreniere and Pierre-Luc Dubois, but it's just to say like the work ethic is there and he has enough talent to maybe solidify third line, whereas the other two guys I'm mentioning, they seem to be more underwhelming superstars that, it would be a disaster bringing them near, kind of like Drouin. So I don't know. What I saw out of Pinard, even though it was against Ottawa, it showed good signs. Like, yeah, he's a third, fourth liner you can count on, and we're going to need those because I don't think we have future third, fourth liners, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. Go, Chris.
I think, Joy, you're being a little bit too hard on PLD. I mean, he's having a heck of no. Like Lafreniere, he hasn't proven himself. He hasn't done anything. Pierre-Luc Dubois, I think you got to cut him some slack.
Yeah, this year he's doing okay. Yeah, no, this year he's doing okay. But like, if you take his overall, it's been a lot of up and downs. Maybe you change the scenery will work. I don't know.
But I think, are we talking about Laf or PLD?
No, PLD.
I actually really strongly believe, and I think I'm being very optimistic, but I think Lafreniere just needs a different scenery. I think a different scenery with the right, how do you say it, management and surroundings, he could be. Again, I'm not putting my hopes up because I never really wanted him, but if he were to come to Montreal now with this management and what's his name,
Jeff
Martin Saint Louis. No, wait, is it Martin Saint Louis? No, what did I say last time?
Louis Saint Martin.
Louis Saint Martin. I actually think, anyways, this is me being optimistic. I don't know, but I can see him playing a lot better with this surrounding.
Think about it. Okay, you're talking about Lafreniere. Lafreniere only knew New York. I don't think he's had necessarily an opportunity to play on some of the top lines. If you think also about Pierre-Luc Dubois, one of the most incredible things about it is he played for Tortorella for years, who they didn't seem to get along whatsoever.
Creamed him up the ass a few times.
Well, I was just about to say, like, he's playing in a very frustrating environment for himself personally. And then you think about, he's still. I think he really turned a corner. PLD at the very least. Look, he's performing in Winnipeg, and Winnipeg is like, I know they're having a fantastic season, but still, it's been a whole shit show with what's going on with, let's say, Blake Wheeler and things like that. Look, I still think he's performing very, very well under weird circumstances. And then to Anthony's point, if you were to bring him into an environment where he's not only welcome, he wanted to play here, I think the guy has a little bit more fire under his ass, as the French expression directly translated says. I think he'd be a little bit more motivated here, and he's not a scared player like Joe Drouin or somebody. This guy's going to go into the corners. Anyways, I'm still hopeful to see this guy.
I'm
already protecting him when we
I
don't
don't
have
know.
him.
I'm just because you got to ask that question now. Look, the way Kirby Dach is playing lately at center,
My answer doesn't change from the last episode.
Yeah, but still, dude, like the more and more he plays centered, like the more and more he shows, like, hold on a sec, he's showing everybody why he was acquired.
I don't want to get rid of Kirby Dach. That guy stinks.
That's not a point. This is not a point about getting rid of Kirby Dach. This is a point of being, if Kirby Dach is gonna play center because he can, where are you gonna get Pierre-Luc Dubois, folks?
Remember, you got to keep everybody happy, and when guys have to be on the third line status, they don't happy with their type of NHL, talent that they have.
Mm-hmm.
So Pierre-Luc Dubois or Kirby Dach probably wouldn't be happy playing a third line if they're both playing well. It might be good to help the team in the short term, but in the long term, I don't.
Absolutely not. And look, they call Owen Beck as an emergency call up. I thought they managed his ice time perfectly. They didn't play him at center. They knew it was going to be just one game, but just come in, get a taste of the NHL. Look, because I think Owen Beck has the potential of being a number 2 centerman in the NHL. If not, that's at most. At least he's going to be a third liner, and that all depends. It depends who they draft, dude. If they're drafting wingers at this draft, they're gonna go up on that first line. Some with Suzuki, and then some with Kirby Dach. Don't forget, you have Juraj Slafkovsky that might one day play on the top line with Suzuki.
And it's good you mentioned that, Sam. If they go the direction of drafting wingers, that means they're confident that Dach at center. But if they go draft the center, means they might want to keep Kirby Dach at wing. So it all depends their choices of what they make this draft, which is what they're thinking of where they're going to place everybody in the future.
See, but I
agree.
Oh, 100% good point. So here I am saying about PLD, where does he fit? Now, what happens if we're number 1 overall and there's the Bedard? Yes, hands down, eyes closed, you get Bedard.
He can also play wings.
Bedard, I'm convinced Bedard is not going to play center in the NHL.
I forgot that he's a winger too. So he would. Okay, so Kirby Dach could stay with Bedard in the lineup.
But PLD also too can shift over to the left side on the left wing easily.
Yeah, but again, we don't know the players if they want to do that. There's certain players, Chris, that are adamant about playing a certain position. So we don't know how it is. I don't know. Just with Dubois, he's a very outspoken character. So I feel like if something goes wrong with him in Montreal, like something's gonna blow up, and Montreal media, they're gonna be all over it. I don't know. He's doing well.
In the month of January, Kirby Dach's face-off stats went from 30-something% to 48.5%.
Yeah, he actually went up.
So you got to ask that question, man. Again, ideally, Hughes and Gordon said, ideally, we want him to be a centerman. Now, look, man, him in that line with Suzuki and Caulfield were dominant. And personally, I would love to see that line go back again. But a lot of it's going to come down to the draft, where they are, who they're going to take. And if they're showing, look, if who's out right now, if Monahan does get traded, if Jake Evans comes back, well, he's going to go back down to the 4th line center. You're going to have Dvorak as your 3rd. If you're going to keep Dach for the rest of the season at the 2nd line center, and he's putting up the numbers like he has, I can guarantee you, or mostly guarantee, that they're going to keep him there. And that's the centerman lineup they're going to try to go for.
Yeah, good point. No, definitely. I was just going to say good point. It really depends. Obviously, this is going to be a big offseason, so we'll go. And sorry to derail you guys, but I was trying to give Harvey-Pinard a good moment.
No,
he played a great game.
I derailed. Yeah, the backhand goal against Detroit was just amazing.
Beautiful. But he's another example of a guy that just, look, go to the minors, fucking earn your stripes, work hard, because that's what he is. Fucking grind it out every day, every night, which he has. He's had a bit of a slow start this season, Laval, but look, he earned his chances, and he took advantage of those opportunities.
And he has more ball than someone who will not be named.
And he plays dude. Look, you want to talk? They call him Rafael Harvey-Pinard for a reason. They play the exact same style, like when Gallagher started in the NHL. The exact same style. They're both similar. So And also, you gotta know that it's his contract year. It's at the end of the season. He's a restricted free agent, but with possibility of arbitration. So he's fighting for it, man.